Welcome, everybody, Behind the Bash podcast, season number 3. That means we've been doing this for like 3 years. Look, last year we bullshitted. We did like 2 episodes last year. We didn't even
tell us how you really feel.
We didn't do a follow-up episode. I think we were tired of a birthday bash. We were tired of each other.
I had to drag him out of his office today. You see, he's on his phone.
Man,
now.
busy, man.
Busy day.
We're all
busy
busy.
Day.
We're all busy.
Man's busy. It's a good thing, though. It's a good busy, though.
It is.
2026 birthday bash. We took a different approach this year. We're going to talk about that. Everybody introduce yourself. We'll start with the lady over here.
Hello, I'm Beyonce Alowishus, a.k.a. Mrs. Birthday Bash.
Gil Jones, Marketing Director, Hot 1079.
Devin Steel, Program Director, Hot 1079. And the three of us form part of Ultron that put the show together. Direct the show, organize the show, cuss people out. Gil cuts the checks. He's the one right there. You know, he's the check cutter. If you're looking for him, that's him right there. So if you're looking for your back end money.
Right. Got it.
That's Gil back end.
Make sure you send that voided check.
He's literally asking for wires right now as we speak.
Right.
Birthday bash is a little bit different this year. I know we always talk about, we do a lot of research after the fact to see what worked, what didn't work, what people want, what they don't want. Last year, Glorilla is the headliner. She was coming off Summer Jam the night before. We had a lot of younger artists. We had a social media TikTok set. And, you know, some of that went well, but I think we did a lot of research after the fact. Gil, what do you look into? What data and analytics do you look at after the show to see how we need to pivot for the show for the next year?
Well, I'm a social media guy. I kind of maintain our Instagram page, so I'm always looking at what people are saying in the comments. And so, to me, that's better than any kind of research or formal research that you can get done. I like to see what they're actually saying, what the audience is saying, what they're agreeing on, what they're disagreeing on. And, I think that the last couple of years we kind of, we did what we normally do, look for who the hot artists are and incorporate them and try to incorporate them into Birthday Bash. And but what we learned is that, to me, I think the audience is really just kind of tired of young artists, and they're really like over it. They're over the piss poor performances. They're over the lateness. People want to come in, get in, and have a good time, and so Atlanta definitely let their opinion be heard in regards to what the experience was last year. It was some good stuff. It was some bad stuff. You know what I'm saying? Certain artists they just sat down on and. You know what I'm saying? But
like who? Tell us.
Listen.
We're not going to feel
Yeah. But we learned and we pivoted this year, and it was a great pivot.
Yeah, Beyonce, you've been here for quite a few of these birthday bashes. This is the 30th year as you've got your representing with your chain on your neck. We did something a little different, and we rebranded with the logo. And, the thing with Birthday Bash being earlier, we'll talk about that in a second. We've been working on this since before the holidays, you know what I mean? Kicking around ideas of, with the logo, what does Birthday Bash mean? What does it mean for the city? What is 30 years? And decided to do something a little bit different. Beyonce, after last year, I guess you probably feel like, hey, you know what? It was probably time for us to reset and do something a little bit different, right?
Absolutely. I think the closest thing we've been to this year's Birthday Bash is Birthday Bash 25 when we were at Georgia State and Lil Baby performed, and then we had the Migos and we had Gucci, and it felt like Atlanta. And Atlanta took a break after that. Yeah. Because there were other people who had to come do their thing, but I think the reason why this year everyone's so excited is not only that it's grown, but it feels like old Atlanta. It feels like that. I got goosebumps. Like it feels like when I was in college and T.I., Bankhead, and really we've hit all of the different like sets in Atlanta. From you've got Gucci, you've got 1017, you've got 2 Chainz with Street Execs, you've got T.I. with Grand Hustle, and plus the surprises that we can't talk about. But I feel like we're hitting all the sides of Atlanta, and it's really feeling like home for a lot of people.
Yeah, most definitely.
And I would agree. And I say, not to say, last year was great. I mean, we basically sold out, but it was just, every year has a different feel to me. When I'm front of house, I go back of house for a second. It just, every year feels different. it never feels the same. I never get a chance to go out front in the hallway, and we kind of talk about that and talk about, you know, how it feels for the listeners. We're doing something different this year. We're doing some merch this year so people can celebrate 30 years on Birthday Bash with us. We have a bunch of special surprises, but Birthday Bash is a lot about the timing. So let's kind of talk about that for a second. Last year after Birthday Bash, one of the things we knew was we were going to have to either go late or have to go early this year because of World Cup and FIFA. Now, Gil, let me ask you, what kind of challenge does that pose to trying to do a concert like Birthday Bash of that magnitude of people that, you know, downtown is already hard to get in and out of, right? You have an amazing MARTA system that's down there, but, you know, what led us to go, you know what, let's do Memorial Day weekend? What do you think ultimately was that let's go ahead and sign and make it happen?
Well, I think the first thing is that you always got to keep it, just for business sake, you always got to keep it in the same quarter, right? So when you're balancing your budget or you're budgeting out for a year, they always look for year to date. So I had to keep it in the second quarter, right? It had to be, April, May, or June.
Right.
Had to be.
Right.
Had to be.
Because you gave us a different September option too, though. Originally it was Memorial Weekend or Labor Day.
Ooh, that's late.
Yeah, but that was before we did budget. Once we did budget, we still had no doubt.
This
like,
was
it
an
gotta
argument.
Be,
like we
it had
were
to be in
literally
second
arguing
quarter.
about this.
Yeah. And we couldn't do August because everybody knows that August is back to school season, and that's where funds go. And we're always cognizant of our audience and what they have, what are their priorities. And I couldn't do really September because I do another show in October on our gospel side. And so, you know, when we talk to State Farm Arena, it's like, what are the options? And literally they're like, well, we know you don't want to do Memorial Day weekend. I was like, well, not necessarily. I might want to. And they were like, really? Mm-hmm. And they were like, yeah. And I was like, it was a good thing is because it's like the month before June. I mean, it's the weekend before June hits. And everybody knows June is World Cup month. And there's other shows at the top of June that Live Nation had already had dates for that I wanted to stay away from. Because if you know anything about other promoters, you know, their big shows are going to be summertime. So it was like, it only made sense to do it if you're going to do, now you only could do 30 in Memorial Day weekend. A regular Birthday Bash, you can't do Memorial Day weekend. But since it's 30, we can do the show on a Sunday, people are off on Monday. It only made sense that, you know, we did it on Memorial Day weekend. And I'm not going to lie, a lot of us was nervous about it, but the response has been amazing. People really are looking, it's literally part of their Memorial Day weekend now.
Yeah.
And you know, it's not even just a concert. We're gonna do a lot of things that weekend that's gonna have people wanting to celebrate, gonna have people celebrating and people talking about Birthday Bash and Hot 107.9.
Would you do it? Could you foresee this being the new weekend?
No.
Oh.
I probably would stay away from it if it wasn't for 30. And what it is and it being like so Atlanta, I think that's the only reason why it works. But we'll definitely be going back to June next year.
I like it being on a Sunday, and I like having my summer back.
Right. I like having my summer back too, though.
Me too, because we end up consuming ourselves. But the thing is like we were so early. I mean, for us, we were planning this out during the holidays. Like we were basically having Birthday Bash meetings, trying to go through what we were going to do, finalize the logos, figure out on sale. And it seems like, you know, people don't understand. And they jokingly say, man, basically, y'all work for the radio station, you know, but y'all also are concert promoters too.
Right,
you know what I mean?
Exactly.
This is a huge, important concert, not just for Atlanta, but for Radio 1, for our company, and, you know, really for the culture. It's the only, if not one or two, still locally produced radio shows. We produce this all of ourselves. I mean, we're not dragging speakers and doing lights, you know what I mean? But at the same time, as far as producing,
we're paying for it, though.
Absolutely, which is extremely important. We had an amazing rollout when we made the announcement. You could just feel the energy in the city, and I mean that's all everybody's been talking about. Let's talk about timing here. Well, before we get into that, though, let me kind of explain to people, if you don't understand the magnitude of World Cup, FIFA comes in, that's the parent company. They come in, that's the Football Federation International. They book everything for the whole month, and there's a perimeter around things that are FIFA sanctioned and things that aren't. Like, it is going to be a complete shit show trying to get downtown in traffic, trying to get around, trying to get in, trying to get out. And Atlanta, they're quarterfinal games here. You're not going to have strange countries playing here. You're going to have the Frances, you're going to have the Englands, you're going to have the Brazils, you're going to have the Spains, you're going to have the big superstars here. You're talking about hundreds and thousands of extra people, not just in the city, but specifically in downtown. That's why they're trying to get all the new food hall across the street open and the Cosm and all that new stuff. So there's a lot of different things that come into play, and I think we were really lucky and blessed to be able to get in and do it Memorial Day weekend, to your point, to make Atlanta a destination for that weekend.
Yeah, most definitely.
I mean, if you want to party and you want to kick it and, hey, you want to check out a great Atlanta-centric ass show, we got that for you.
Yep.
We got that for you. All right. Let's talk about timing for a second. We were kicking around some ideas on headliners for the show. Who are we going to get? And, of course, I know everybody says when you put in the comments and people say, who do you want to see on Birthday Bash, you're always going to get the big three.
Right.
The big 3 or 4. And you're always going to get Jeezy, Gucci, Future is always going to be in there for the most part, one of those 3. Now, if you book all 3 of those, that's a $2.5 million show. I'm just telling you right now. For people that don't understand the dynamic, you'll probably never see that show.
Right. Right.
You may see a couple of them on stage together, but it's not promoted. That is a $2.5, $3 million show and talent right there. But we kind of went through, and it was only right, this whole T.I. thing. How did the conversation come about when we were kicking around T.I.? How did that conversation? I forgot if it was you, Gil, or you, Beyonce, when you first called KP and Grand Hustle and called Tip. That was you, Beyonce.
Yeah. Well, we had talked about it last year. So last year's Birthday Bash, we had reached out to him to see if he wanted to participate. And, he, in T.I. fashion, gave me some very large words, but basically in a nutshell was like, next year is the 20th anniversary. Mm-hmm. It really makes more sense for me to do it next year. Yeah. And so he was really set on this was the year. And so then Gil and I got on the phone with him again when we started talking about, okay, we gonna pull the trigger? We gonna pull the trigger? And we all sat down and we called him, and he was absolutely ecstatic, to do it. And I think this was Christmas-ish. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it was.
January, Christmas.
I think it was January.
It was right after New Year's. It was around the holiday. Yeah. And he was elated, and he had tons of ideas, and he's really excited. And especially when you talk about celebrating 20 years of his album release, and then also 30 years of Birthday Bash, and what Birthday Bash has meant to the city. So it just kind of all fell together. So we were really excited about that.
And it's also the 20th year of ATL, of the movie. So there's a lot to lean into, and a lot that he's been involved in. Is, for his career, I've been kind of an intimate part of supporting him. So it's almost like a full circle moment for a lot of us to come back. I know he had the legendary Birthday Bash 13. He had the Birthday Bash with Flip. I know he had the thing with Drama when he was on stage, and I think this year, to your point, and the ideas that he has, this feels different because I think this is, besides the Lotto year, this is really the first time that we're actually sitting down with the team in the planning station of what that set looks like,
right,
in a part of the process, and that makes you feel like mission accomplished. We're doing the right thing.
They're invested.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
vested. Yes, exactly in it. Then you got Gucci, who was always a crowd favorite. You know what I mean? He's an Atlanta favorite and a legendary crowd favorite.
And it goes from the west side to the east side.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. Yeah. East Atlanta Santa.
One of the conversations I always have with somebody's a friend of the station is Chainz, who always has some kind of project out from, like you said, Southside. He has, a movie out that he dropped last year. He had the album with Larry June. He's now an independent artist. And the interesting thing about our 3 headliners, all 3 of those artists are now independent artists for the most part. So the business is changing 360 degrees from the last time that we did this.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I mean, these are all personal relationships for the most part.
Gil made a note. We haven't had to go through any record labels for any artist. No. And it's all basically, we're just dealing with everybody one-on-one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So for the most part, a couple of these guys are signed to like Empire or Gamma, but for the artists of these magnitude, that's just a machine to help on the distribution and to push it, not necessarily responsible from start to finish for their projects, which is an amazing place to be for all 3 of them. And then I get, I'm not only do I consider these guys, like constituents, but I'm fans of all 3 of those guys. Like you can't go wrong with them. Each of them have their quirks and what they want for the show. But I think that as far as all 3 of those is basically any 3 of those can headline. I saw 2 Chainz this past weekend. It's somebody's show, and I don't know how many people were in the crowd, but it was hundreds. I don't know, it was a festival. There were hundreds of thousands of people. Gucci's another guy that does that. All right, let's keep going. Waka.
Legendary.
it just came from a conversation. As a matter of fact, he was up here.
Right.
Classic.
Like, what's up? You gonna do birthday bash? Yeah, let's do it.
Right. That quick.
That quick. You're such an easygoing guy. Soulja Boy's the guy, probably our first artist we locked in.
He was the first one we did lock in.
And whether you know it or not, shout out to Theo and Miami Mike. Soulja Boy's one of these guys, like, he is so buttoned up with this business. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Contracts, everything were done very, very, very quickly. Let's go through, and then we're going to talk about one of the youngest artists on the show, Travis Porter. Man,
legendary.
Atlanta icons.
College anthems.
And had an amazing year last year with the whole futuristic sound.
Yeah.
Fabo, a crowd favorite.
Yeah. Got to have Fabo on there. Fabo. Need the energy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's our
Atlanta
guy.
legend. Easy.
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, our coworker, Pastor Troy, that's a no-brainer. You know what I mean? You tell him if you want 20 minutes, you want 10 minutes.
Right, exactly.
No, we ain't going to say that, though. You see, they be giving out time left and right, and I'm the timekeeper, so I have to be like, I love it. I think it's an amazing idea, but he needs to stay to 8.
Right,
Thanks.
there you go.
All right, we added Yin Yang Twins.
Yeah.
Who is a group who has amazing energy and a little bit different than everybody on the show. And here again, everybody on the show that's really interesting are folks that gig every single weekend. So their shows are very buttoned up. They've been doing these shows for years. For years.
Yep.
Which, and I think a lot of people, if you've never seen Yin Yang Twins or it's been a long time, Yin Yang Twins is going to turn the arena upside down. Yes. I can tell you now because the energy is different.
Mm-hmm.
Gil is like, hey, I know we're full. I want the show to end at 11 o'clock. But I just talked to Yin Yang Twins, and they're going to come too.
Right.
So my question is, do you have money for when we go over?
We do.
Because people don't know the logistics. We're supposed to be done at 11 o'clock.
Yeah.
And both of them keep calling people and talking to people.
We're done.
We're done.
Are we done?
Yeah, we are done.
We're not going to be done at 11. I can tell you that right now.
Okay. I'm making a bet that we're going to add somebody else.
No, we're not. I promise you.
I'm making a bet.
If it is, it will be somebody that pops out within the confinements of their set. If they have 16 minutes, it will be within their 16 minutes.
We need to think of some kind of bet. And, we could, for people online, we could actually take a what time is Birthday Bash going to end poll. Like
we could
take bets on what time
it's gonna end at 11:17. But you gotta also remember I control that too.
11:25.
Okay. All right.
No, we're not going there.
No, we got to stay within
we
15 minutes.
11:30, right? You said you got money for it.
No, that's going to cost us another.
We get charged by every 15 minutes. We get charged.
All right, let's keep on. We got a couple more, man.
Okay.
ATL legend. When I mean legend, I'm talking about ATL, like Kilo Ali.
People are so excited. Didn't you say you were reading the comments and how excited people are about
Kilo after T.I. Kilo had the biggest response.
People are excited.
After Kilo,
some of y'all
after T.I. Kilo had the biggest response.
I'm excited too. As a fan of everything ATL, especially then with all the bass music. I met Kilo a long time ago, probably 30 years ago. I have not seen him or heard him as my adult life. You know what I mean? So that is going to be an amazing moment.
I haven't seen him.
This year, this will be our third year doing the Rico Wade Game Changer Award. The first year, of course, we gave it to Killer Mike from the stellar year he had with the Grammys and everything from his philanthropy, everything he's done. Last year, we gave it to Shaka Zulu. I mean, an amazing executive, son of the city, friend of everybody, and responsible for so many things and careers. And this year, we're giving away the Rico Wade Game Changer Award to the legendary Goodie Mob.
Boys.
Which will be a great look. You know, it's just... if you don't follow all of them on social media, make sure you do, because they're such a legendary group and touch so many people and do so many things in and around the city and been such a part of the blueprint and the brick and mortar of the hip hop scene in the city. Even, you know, the whole Dungeon family movement, everything. So to be able to give them the Rico Wade Game Changer Award is really something I think we're truly excited about.
Yeah,
truly excited about.
Well deserved.
Birthday Bash 30. Beyonce says, "Do not add any more people to it. We are out of time."
Listen, I'm saying you could add them as long as Gil got the money.
No, we ain't got no more money. I mean, we got money for 15 minutes over.
Didn't we save like a lot of money by cutting a couple artists out? So, you know.
Yeah, and that money is going to be used to pay for...
I mean, we don't have to shut down till 1 o'clock in the morning. We could just keep going.
It's an older crowd, man. They going to be tired.
They are going to be tired.
It is.
They're going to be like, hey, listen.
I think one of the things we noticed... I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. One of the things we noticed when we first launched it was all the different social media, and we were just... reposting all these cool memes and what Birthday Bash meant. You know, there are people that are like, man, this feels like the Birthday Bash, number one, that's 30 and up, and feels like a Birthday Bash I can't miss.
Correct.
I really don't want to work, to be honest.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because why do you think a lot of the comments are? I feel like this is the year that I can't miss. Why do you think that's?
It's just the show caters to their when they were in the streets. It makes them feel younger again. Not gonna say young, but makes them feel younger.
Yeah.
And it reminds them of a time where they feel like pridefully Atlanta was theirs. You know what I'm saying? And it wasn't the world. Like Atlanta is the world now. The world knows about Atlanta. The world knows about Magic City and Lemon Pepper Wings. But at one point, it was just about Atlanta knowing Atlanta, and that's what this lineup represents. It's like it was a time when it was just about us, what we like to listen to, and we didn't care about what the national appeal was. So yeah,
a lot of people ask, and me not being from here, I finally put my finger on what it was. That one thing about Atlanta artists and the Atlanta hip hop. What?
my stomach growling.
Oh, was that your stomach?
Said that was his
I thought that was something in the hallway. Smelled that chicken fettuccine in the
He
hallway.
started talking about lemon pepper wings. He got hungry.
I know, man.
One of the things that I finally put my finger on when somebody asked me, what is it about Atlanta? How can Atlanta have a Magic City Hawks collabo? Atlanta is probably one of the only cities that picks each other up.
Yep.
Yeah.
Now,
most definitely.
look, I know there are little petty beefs or whatever the situation, but I've never heard anybody say, man, I don't mess with them. You know what I mean? Over something crazy. Atlanta, throws alley-oops to everybody in the city and gives opportunity for everybody in the city and lifts each other up, especially when it comes to the music scene. I don't know if that's by design. I don't know if that's been instilled in people, but that's what it seems like to me. Mm-hmm. And it's just very different. It's not like that anywhere else. That's why you can do a Magic City,
Magic City Monday. I mean, and it's the culture of Atlanta. And, Atlanta loves Atlanta. And I think Atlanta is, especially old Atlanta. Now, when you start talking about new Atlanta, it gets a little different. But old Atlanta loves old Atlanta. Old Atlanta's going to support old Atlanta. And, when you talk about all the greats from the Gucci's, the 2 Chainz, the T.I.'s, the Migos, the Jeezys, everyone's always going to come out support no matter how many times you've seen them, no matter, because it's going to remind you of rolling down Peachtree Street when, Club Essos and Club Fuel and Escape was all popping and the Bounce and the Bank. And it's just, it just reminds you of those moments. This birthday bash reminds you of the essence of Atlanta.
I think you kind of summed it up. All right, one more artist, and we definitely don't want to forget her. One of the reasons, the last couple of years we've had female headliners, which we made history, which was amazing years. But we put YK Nice on the show this year. Mm-hmm. And she's had an incredible year. And I don't want to say she's been an underdog, you know what I mean? But the way her story started out as the underdog, and now she has had an incredible fire year.
Most definitely.
She's respected in a lot of different circles. She's had amazing records, big projects with big people and her own stuff. But I think it was important to put her on there.
Yeah, I think we had to. We had to make sure that the demo was taken care of as well, and that they did feel like they were included. And what other artist would you want than someone who was a pop-up last year on the stage, but then who kind of skyrocketed from being a pop-up last year? We just had to, give her flowers and let her know that, this, not only does the station, but Atlanta, we support you, we see you, and let's give you an opportunity to have a small set on this stage, So
everybody always talks about Birthday Bash weekend, and one of the things they miss the most is the block party. The block parties predate when I've been in Atlanta, but things change. Centennial Park doesn't do shows anymore. It's hard to do things somewhere else. It's hard to do things in the underground. It's hard to do things different places. But one of the things we've done over the last 6-7 years is an event called Who's Hot. This year it's on a Thursday night, not Friday, not Saturday, but since the show was Sunday, it's on Thursday night. Tell us about Who's Hot.
Yes, so Who's Hot started because we could no longer do the block party. And with this being such a big show and almost being sold out already, it's going to be an amazing opportunity for a new artist who is thriving in Atlanta or the region to come and open up Birthday Bash.
Right.
And you can hit me at Beyonce ATL on Instagram or email me, BeyonceATL@gmail. But on Thursday, May 21st, we are going to be hosting at Believe Music Hall, and it'll be your opportunity to audition to open up. So it's going to be amazing. We've had Meg Thee Stallion perform at Who's Hot our very first year. Big X The Plug. just Money Main. I mean, it's just we've had such a good record with people performing that it's got a great reputation. So I'm really excited about it. DJ Holiday is going to be a part of it. We're going to be doing bar for bar. So a lot of great things. So make sure you hit me at Beyonce ATL.
Yeah, we got some other major artists that I don't even.
Yeah, we might have an artist for you, Beyonce.
Yeah, we got.
We might have.
Hey, friends.
We might have you a good headliner.
Yeah,
we ain't gonna. We gonna see.
I think spreading out on Thursday. Look, I'm gonna get back on the phone today and see what's up. We're trying to work it out, but I think. Give us some space in between. Like I've always, Gil hasn't even been to Who's Out the last 2-3 years because he's so inundated with everything that's going on.
It's on a Thursday now, so I can actually go and enjoy it because my show is not till Sunday.
Exactly.
Oh my God.
So you don't have to be like, oh, I got to get up.
Right.
What I got to do in the morning. I got to be up at 5, 6, making sure loading is okay. So I'm excited about that too because I can actually. Enjoy myself. The other thing about 30 is there's a lot of people that are involved. They're record label people, industry people, former co-workers, DJs, people from all over the place that are coming. We're doing some special things with friends and family. A lot of them are private and invite only. But we're doing some special things around the show too and some faces that started with the original Hot 975 and migrated over to Hot 1079, around the show.
I would even love to give away passes to one of the podcast people, but hey. That's on the promotions marketing director.
Hey, I got an artist call. I got to go talk to this artist real quick.
So we're going to wrap it up right now. So we're going to do another one before the show. Definitely, we'll give you an update.
Most
I can tell you right now, the show is almost sold out. That's not cap. That's real talk. Gil, how many tickets are left, Gil? Right now,
it's more than hundreds. Yesterday it was 540. I think this morning it was 497.
Okay. So look, that means probably next time we have this, knock on wood, we might be sold out.
Yep.
That means don't wait. All right. Make sure you hit us up. Put your social media out there, Gil.
You can follow me at The Real Gil Jones.
At Beyonce ATL.
I'm at Devin, DEVIN _Steel. Make sure you spread the word, too. This is on all podcast platforms. You can even watch it in your car as well, too, on the Radio 1, I1 network. Man, look forward to it. Behind the Bash podcast. Listen, Sunday, May 24th, Memorial Day weekend. Don't wait. Get your tickets. It's going down.
Down.